Hello, everybody, and welcome. Sorry, that's Greg's job.
I thought you were going to point at me. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I fucked it up.
No, it's your show. Go for it.
Oh, it's your show. You're the DM. I'm sorry. That's how it's supposed to go.
We're professionals.
Done this for a while.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Legends of Arcadia. We are off to a roaring start. How are you all? I don't even know. We took a vote off screen while Sean was grinding coffee beans and decided that Sean was indeed the one that should do the recap for us today. And so I'm not even going to ask how people are doing because I almost died there. And I'm just going to hand it over to Sean and say, please give us a glorious recap.
All right. Previously on Dragon Ball Z, the party had just come out of a battle against an enormous bull wielding a battle axe with multiple party members injured. Koibu having done some self-injury and Hugo having taken quite a beating tanking the bull for the party. So the party retreated for a little while to rest and recover and go into the Medusa's lair at a more solid HP level. After taking some time to rest, they decided to journey forth and ventured forth to slay the Medusa. And after marching into her lair, combat quickly ensued. There were no problems whatsoever. All of the plans went perfectly and flawlessly. Nobody was turned to stone whatsoever. And the Medusa, one thing led to another. The Medusa lay dead at the floor. We found the unicorn, which had been taken captive by the Medusa, set it free, and it gave us its horn as a reward. And if one of the party members had been turned to stone, we could have used the horn to turn them back to flesh, but that didn't happen, so it wasn't necessary. And I'm going to go and take my D12 XP for that recap.
I was going to say, since you had a coerced recap, we might up that for you a little bit. But you did forget about the side quest with the Elven Kid.
I completely forgot about the Elven Kid.
Yeah, I know.
This is why you don't string the recap on me.
Right. So I'm going to reduce the value of your coerced recap down to 150 XP for you.
Right, I'll roll my D150.
Yes. 66. Very nice.
All right. Gonna go kill all the Jedi.
Nice. All right. With that wonderful recap, the five of you now find yourself outside of the Medusa's lair, having raided it, and you find that at the end of the last session, a small animal, a bird, comes flighting down and produces a charred bit of dead curling tree, and it speaks. It is in fact the animal companion of the second ranger, and tells you that a horrible thing has happened back at home. The Tree of Woe grows and you should return quickly. And it is from that point that we will pick the show back up. What do the five of you do as you hear this bird's speech from the end of last session?
Point of clarification. This is the elf's messenger.
Yes. So you'll remember that Ren's mother, whose name I had written down backwards in my notes some distance. Oh, because these are my land on the miss notes. Okay, cool.
Which are written backwards?
I just have too many notebooks for different campaigns.
My secret is I don't take any notes.
Can't lose the notes if you don't have any.
Mm-hmm.
Noman, you did such a good job fighting that Medusa. Well done, buddy. I don't know if we would have made it through here without you. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I killed the bull as well.
Your stealth skills are really improving. I didn't hear you at all in that battle.
Nobody saw me. I was so quiet. Think I'm gonna get wrist turns.
I was blindfolded, but I assume you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, he was there.
You must. Did you learn the invisibility spell?
Mm-hmm.
You were blindfolded. It wasn't an invisibility spell.
But I was invisible too.
So,
but what do we do now? We going back to the elves?
Why? No, we're going back to the. We're going back to the The cave?
The Tree of Woe?
The Cult of Ponos? I don't know. So, okay, so this, where, all right, Greg, are you ready? We're outside of the cave when this bird lands, or just
yes, you had just exited the Medusa's cave. If you'll remember, it looks a lot like this on the way, right? So you're in this area where you fought the Minotaur, having stepped out of the Medusa's cave at the end of last session, and a bird flew in from Lothwin, Ren's mother, the second ranger, and it gave you this. It uncurled from its talon this dying dead piece of bark, and it gave you the speech about something horrible has happened. The Tree of Woe grows. You should return home to your home.
Yeah, that's what I was confused about. I was like, the elves want us back. Is it our home? The elf home? Is the bird talking, or is this
yes, almost as if magically induced to do so?
You know, I hate to cause any trouble here, but what the hell's the Tree of Woe? Was that what you guys were doing when I was?
I shake my head and look to Ren, or to the bird. What's the Tree of Woe? Does the bird respond to us, or is
the bird unfortunately is not able to communicate with you. It is only able to give its message.
Got it. So Ren, Tree of Woe, was that what we chopped? Is that what I chopped down last week? Last time, yesterday? 2 days ago? Where am I?
Yesterday? Oh my god, the time. I'm not entirely sure. I believe that is what it could be. I mean, it's an infestation that grows through the forests, right? Similar to like roots spreading through the ground.
Is it a metaphor? I don't have any. I mean, is there any relevant skill here? If there is, I probably don't have it.
Sure, yeah. You spent some time patrolling the lands between the elves and men.
Maybe can I roll my woodland survival skill?
I think that sure, I would be happy to let you roll that. So during your treks between woodlands and whatever ranger duties that you perform, how is it that you came across whispers of elven knowledge? How did you learn the rumors that you know?
Well, I patrol the woods north of town, which border the elven woods. So I mostly keep the human side of that border guarded and protected. Mostly steering clear of the elven lands, but I presumably either came in contact with elves along that border, or with if there are other creatures that traverse. I don't know if there are like neutral parties that pass between worlds, other fey creatures, or maybe it was just a conversation with elves.
Okay, yeah, sure enough, you
recall a particular conversation where someone mentioned this Tree of Woe.
Yeah, you think back and you remember running into a group of elven scouts kind of on the edge. There was, some discussion of what side of the tree line you were on, and eventually resolved peacefully. But among this conversation, there was whispers of a Tree of Woe. Apparently, it is a tree that grows in times of great stress or suffering in the woods, when souls are cast out from their body in particularly painful or disturbing ways, or there is a great amount of pain or anguish. The roots of a Tree of Woe absorb this negative energy. It grows deep, dark, and hollow. It is a portend of disastrous times ahead, usually something the elves use to just begin searching for a counter to, right? A portend of disaster that should be or needs to be averted.
What he said.
Well, that doesn't sound good. Something must be going on at town. We should go back.
Yeah, let's get back to town. Although if it were in town, would it be a Tree of Woe that would grow? Rook looks to Ren.
I shrug.
Seems to me like something going wrong in the wilds.
Well, it said it's a sign. Bad things are going to happen.
Bad things have happened. This tree is fed off of the souls, displaced souls of the dead. If the souls are free, then they've already passed, or they're trying to. This isn't related to that tree last week, is it?
What tree?
You know, the one with the little boy? You remember the little boy, right?
Yeah, I didn't like the cut of his jib.
No, he was dead.
Yeah. Good riddance.
Ren, you seem suspiciously quiet. Normally this is your area of expertise.
I'm just, my mother said to return home. You know, that is, hurts me a little bit every time this topic gets brought up, so it makes me a little quiet. I think we should return at least to the Dryad to return the, to, you know, confirm what we have done, so she can give us something to free the girl from her curse, right?
Yes. What did we do for the Dryad? It wasn't the unicorn, was it?
I think it was. She
yeah.
talked about freeing her pet. I think that was her pet. I haven't seen anything else that qualifies as a pet around here.
Okay, we can stop by the Dryad's Grove on our way home. I wouldn't mind another look at that beauty.
The unicorn?
Yes. Yes.
All right. So
Here, boy. This is collecting the dogs from their guard duty.
absolutely.
Head
So
south.
the five of you determine to head your way back out of the woods
Where's
and
Gurgi?
make your way south. Gurgi is silently slobbering and watching his newfound prey in Noman, counting his points on his hand.
What the hell?
Unfortunately, no matter how many times he counts, he can't get to 10 points. But
You
eventually,
missing a finger?
no, he just hasn't gotten enough points yet. His small mind hasn't figured out quite how to cheat yet.
Did we explain that to Nick?
No, don't worry about it.
It's fine. He doesn't even know.
The fucking monkey thing's already tried to eat me once. I'm not letting that guy out my sight, okay? I keep an eye on him.
Yeah. Eventually, you make your way down out of this passageway and begin to make your way through the woods. Your aim back towards the camp of the Elven Dryad. As you begin leaving the mountainside, it takes some time, maybe an hour or more, but as you begin to leave, you hear the beat of drums and the howls of voices rising up out of the mountains behind you. What do you do as you hear all of this?
What sort of voices?
They sound feminine, but threatening, almost like big snake ladies, maybe.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, then I
Must
think we
have,
arm ourselves.
I think the snake cult has realized their Medusa's dead. We should pick up our feet.
Yeah.
I will. Are we on like a path?
There is a path out of the mountains, yes, that kind of way that you switched back up the mountains up to the back door of the Medusa's lair where you fought the bull. And then beyond that, you find yourselves in the forest proper, in which there is little path other than the steps that Gurgi makes you follow.
Are we leaving footprints?
Yeah, well, as much as you would normally in the forest, there is underbrush here. There is, leaves and twigs and all kinds of things on the forest floor. But where you can leave footprints, you would be.
Hang on. I'm just trying to think if I can use a spell.
I think we're better off just moving. It's not worth slowing down to cover our tracks.
Okay.
Once we get out of this forest, I don't think they'll pursue us.
All right, so I want the five of you to tell me how you're just moving as fast as you can. You're just pushing through the forest,
That was my
charging away.
suggestion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Obviously on alert for danger, but we're not like trying to cover our tracks. I think we're trying to get as much distance between us and the snakes as possible.
In that case, I would like each of you to do me a roll here. For the woodland masters among you, if you wish to roll your woodland skills or your kind of like tracking or survival of some kind, you are trained in it. This is your home turf. Please give me a successful roll of your skills there. For the rest of you, this is pure unbridled speed. Give me a strength check against these snake people, and let us see if you burst through these woods fast enough to leave the beating drums and the hissing cries behind you.
I would like to mention that druids have a special granted power which lets them walk through the woods unobstructed or slowed down. Like they can just literally rush through. It's a granted power for them.
Okay.
Cool.
Excellent. Why don't you take a +5 then to your roll, as you are unobstructed by the passage in front of you.
What are you rolling strength, you said, right?
Yep. Unless you have a woodland tracking or surviving, some kind of skill associated with your druids that you can use. All right. Well, we have 3 successes and a single fail, shockingly enough, from the ranger himself. Gertie, however, rolled a nice and easy 30. So you guys are able to rush through. The drums do beat closer at some points. You can feel them nipping at your heels. But after a hard charging day through the woods, you find yourself powering through them and back out over the river, exhausted and tired as the sun is setting. You pushed yourselves all day. There were no encounters along the way. It seems that the harsh yells and beats of the drums behind you kind of scared away or flushed away any of the creatures amongst your paths. Eventually, as the sun sets, you can turn and see that the snake women themselves do make the edge of the trees some time behind you, but they will not push on beyond their hanging bones and across the river itself. And so you find yourself safely out of the realm of the snake people on the far side of the river, and safe that next day. So the goal is to push back towards the Dryad's home on the other side of the river. Yes?
She was...
All right. Excellent.
I think the Dryad was like here, right?
I'm sorry, are we stopping at the Dryad because she's going to know more about the Tree of Woe?
No, I think we did a quest for her, but I can't quite remember what it was. I think we rescued the unicorn, and the Dryad said she would give us some token to restore the nobleman's daughter's sanity. Was she in a coma? I don't know.
Oh, right, yeah.
She was withered, dude. She was like,
oh yeah,
withered.
she's old.
And it was because the Dryad was jealous, right? Yeah, I remember. Okay.
This plot is too intricate for our intermittent sessions and poor memories.
It's okay. You guys are fine.
Actually, this is pretty normal. It's just like in the context of a D&D show, I feel like we should be more theatrical about it, or actually remember what we're doing.
All right, you make your way through. You rest a night in the woods. Good berries are eaten. Your hard charge through the woods on the first day leaves you tired, and you sleep well.
Can I just comment on the charging through the woods, though? I mean, my movement speed's only 6, so I am assuming that Koibu carried me.
Overland travel is less about sprinting as hard as you can and more about like a forced march. Like your overland movement isn't going to be affected by your like 5 foot or 10 foot less movement speed in like a short burst, right? We're talking about a sustained sprint over a long period of time. Like, yeah, they maybe could out sprint you in like a 100-yard dash, but you don't slow the party down during this overmarch. Yeah.
Don't talk down your natural 20, man.
Thank you.
I mean, if you would like, I can shoot some slings and arrows at you and make them catch you.
No, I just wanted Koibu to carry me. That's all.
I would carry you, but I'm already immediately encumbered.
Ugh.
So it's Koibu that's slowing us down.
Faultless. Yeah.
Actually, medium encumbrance puts him at movement rate 6, right?
Same speed as the gnome.
So same speed as the gnome.
Yeah.
I have a name, you know.
Yeah.
It's gnome.
Yeah, it's gnome.
So the next day, you begin making your way down through the much more friendlier forest. You find yourselves in the yawning, tall, dark elven forest. The trees grow high and the shadows deep, though it immediately gives you a friendlier vibe than the awful place that you left from. The kind of chirping of birds and the thrush of small animals returns to the forest in a more constant way. You find yourselves feeling as if you were immersed deeper into these kind of dark woods. What is the day like as you're making your way down, following, I assume, Gurgi back to the woman of the forest and the river?
I think Nomon's worried because it sounds like something awful's happening, and the rest of the group dealt with the Ponos people when he was away with his new girlfriend. So he's not seen them in person. So I think he's a bit nervous of doesn't know what these Ponos guys are up to, doesn't know what they're about, just worried that something bad's happening to the town. And you've got to remember that no one spent the last few years of his life helping the people of that town. So
Yeah, I think Hugo might try to push people into force marching to get back faster.
Okay. Okay.
I think probably for Ren, it's like she's trying to figure out in her mind how you can defeat Red Mist with the unicorn horn, right? Do you just walk up to it and then you stab it and then you hope for the best? Do you have to kill the creature that is emergent from there? You know, do you have to kill the head cultist with the unicorn horn to get rid of that? She's trying to figure out what is the best way
Does
to
Ren
use
have
that.
the unicorn horn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you use the unicorn horn on Hugo?
Yes, so it has
remember
lost
who-
a charge.
Yeah. I remember you using it. I just don't remember who used it. Was more my question.
I think it
used-
was Ren.
It was Ren. Okay. So Ren, as you contemplate, maybe you think back to your own kind of experience with the unicorn horn, and as kind of Hugo is force marching the party through here, making you travel doubly time behind the gangly, quickly moving Gurgi sliding through the trees. Your mind drifts to this horn, and you kind of let your kind of will and your thoughts wash through it. Go ahead and give me a religion check. And let us see if you can match the knowledge of how to use this horn with the purpose that you desire. So you are able to kind of attune your mind to the power that pulses in your hands from this once living horn. And you come to the realization as throughout the day, maybe slowly over time, that the horn itself responds not to a command or to a physical waving or, material component, not like a wizard would use a spell, but more to the desire of your spirit. As you hold the horn, the thing that you want, the thing that you desire, the horn attempts to materialize to the best of its power. And so you're pretty certain that in order to defeat the mist, one must simply desire the defeat of the mist, and the horn will do what it can. Excellent. I believe I cut somebody off there. Was there more discussion of what you were doing in the woods as you were marching?
I don't think so. I wanted to ask about the rest of the loot. There was a magic amulet and maybe a non-magical tiara.
We had a tiara that was non-magical, a magical amulet that we don't have identified yet, and glass vials with radiolate red liquid, which are the unicorn blood. And then we have the tiny box, which is like the box of cheese, which I've wrapped up and put into my backpack.
Box of cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah.
Cheese.
Cheese. I like calling
with
her
the swabs of cheese.
calling her cheese because,
Okay.
Watch Nix's backstory if you would like to hear more of that.
You just have all that in your backpack, Ren?
No, I only took.
I believe that Rook you had the tiara and a bunch of the silk dresses from the cabinet.
Okay, I definitely took the silks. I did not know the tiara, but
I think Koibu has the blood, and I have the box. Someone took the blood of us.
We did take.
I've got the amulet then.
No, I don't think so. Well, I was saying that. I mean, I was trying to say that Nomon took all. I can't remember where all this was. Like,
absolutely.
I was saying that while we were fighting, Nomon was in the back room, going through the chests of.
I think that treasure. Nomon probably absconded with the many small precious stones worth the additional GP.
You can have the tiara. I don't think I was really interested.
Along with the tiara and the coinage.
I'll give the tiara to my girlfriend. That's awesome.
I'm keeping the. That's a lot of money. I'm just gonna let you know that's like 1,000 GP. I'm gonna keep the necklace and the unicorn horn and the tiny cheese box. Then I don't know where's the blood who wanted that, but I haven't taken that.
I think Koibu was taking the blood.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I'm gonna take one as a sample, and I was like, take it all.
I've got 4 vials of unicorn blood and 1 silver chain with an amethyst necklace and a tiara and a broken finger.
I guess Koibu took it all.
I have it all.
Interesting.
Okay.
All right.
Good discussion, guys. A good discussion.
Yeah. You could have spoken up earlier, Koibu.
Yeah,
I forgot that I had it on my character sheet. I just opened it. I'm like, oh, do I have that? Oh, I do. Okay, cool.
I have 2 mini goat statues. The real treasure.
The real treasure. Along the way during this forced march, moving into kind of a late afternoon, Gurgi pulls up short and scrambles up a tree, almost as if he was surprised by something. It probably puts the rest of you on edge, and as you look around, you find an area of like disturbed underbrush leading into the forest off to the east towards the coast from I guess you're heading south, so it'd be to the west of your compass, but towards the coast. And
the west of your compass,
right? Because if you're always heading north, then like left will always be your west, right?
We're heading south,
but we're heading
south right now, though.
You head towards the coast. There's a disturbance in the underbrush, and as you sit and take in this area, you smell a like pungent, almost sweet, but definite the smell of decay for those of you who have been around it, kind of wafting out from the coastline. What do you do as you
But we're definitely
find this area?
I'm definitely not sitting and taking this in. I think I'm probably stringing my bow as I'm looking to, I don't know, investigate the disturbance. Does it look? Can I tell what kind of creature made it? Does it look like a serpent? Does like something dragged through here, or are they like stomp, stomp, stomp?
Give me that tracking check for me, Mr. Ranger.
I'll roll better than a 4 this time.
Excellent. Rook, you string your bow and you begin observing this, and you immediately begin to view this as a drag. Something larger than a human has been drugged through the underbrush here. There are broken twigs up high in the trees, more than you would expect. There is like very clear drag marks leading into certain bits of brush and bushes and vines that have been snapped, and it drags on some distance into the coast region of this forest.
Something large was dragged through here. And you said the smell of decay. Is that like decaying vegetation or like rotting flesh?
Do you know the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
In character and out of character, those are very different smells.
Oh,
like, I don't know, like, yeah.
Greg is very naive to the smells of decay.
Yeah, like an old forest will smell like like decomposing vegetation, but like rotting flesh smells pretty disgusting.
I think that the overwhelming smell, like the almost sweet pungence of the decay, is one of kind of vegetation of old forest rot. But there is like an underlying hint to the decay of something worse, something more foul, perhaps meat or flesh that has been rotting to some time.
Dogs are growling. Do the dog, is this a good rot or a bad? Do the dogs want to get after the smell and roll around in it?
The dogs have not decided to be playfully lounging in the rot and rolling around in it.
Okay,
no,
so it's not a dead seal. It's an undead abomination.
They have avoided it.
All right, rest of the party. Stop letting me steal the show.
Gurgi, what do you see?
Oh.
Gurgi sees tree, and you see him like hugging a tree up very high away from you.
We should just
That place.
just move our camp, right? We don't need to fight this.
I think we're traveling. Yeah.
Yeah, you're traveling. You don't have to.
Oh, let's just keep moving then. I think I go and like run up. I chase after Rook and start like pulling at the he's like sneaking into the forest with the dogs ahead.
I'm not
of him.
sneaking.
Like,
I stop. I string my bow. I'm looking at it, investigating. I say,
Rook,
If it
what
is
are you
an
doing? Let's just go.
yeah.
If it's an undead creature, we shouldn't let it roam the woods. It's not natural.
That's not the direction we're heading. These are the elves' woods. I'm with Nomon. Let's get out of here.
All right, I'm with it.
I cross my arms and I look at Rook. What do you mean these are not your woods? Haven't you traveled these lands?
No. What? I'm not allowed north. Humans are not allowed north of the river.
Oh, so you're fine walking in here and taking the elves' food when we need it and taking the shelter, but when they need the protection, you turn your back and you walk back. That's
The
fine.
protection. Do you not remember when we first crossed the river and we were taken captive and put on trial? We are
And
here
freed
by
afterwards
explicit
and given
permission.
food and then sent on our mission? Nobody got to like be harmed from them.
If they request my help in this matter, that's a different story. But
I mean, this
Now
is not for the elves. I said you said this is an undead abomination roaming through the forest.
We don't know that.
Let's
Could
not
be
jump-
anything.
let's not jump to conclusions.
But we're about to
You
find
say
out
the
if we keep
stench
here
is
arguing
undead?
about it.
The dogs seem put off by it, but again, this is not our forest. And we have
Gurgi's
our
our
own
guide,
problems back home.
and if he doesn't come down out of this tree, we're not gonna be able to find our way out anyway. So,
Gurgi, come down for points.
no more points until you come down.
How many?
0 points. You lose all of them if you don't come down.
He comes down briefly and then races up a different tree.
Come on, Nomon, let's get out of here. Our people need us in our woods.
I look back and
Okay.
forth between mum and dad multiple times. I look to Brother Koibu for support, but he's looking at something up in a tree. And I think I start to I lower my head and skulk, following Rook.
I mean, where's Hugo? Is he just like 100
I-
meters through the woods? Like, why aren't you forest marching fast?
He's already like miles ahead. Nobody's there.
Yeah, I think Hugo's a little surprised to find himself in agreement with Rook here, but continues on moving past Elven territory.
All right. Eventually, you are able to coax Gurgi back.
That is fine. I'm not coming. I'm going to put up my hood and I'm going to let the rest of the party move ahead and I'm going to do my own thing then. That's happening.
Nice.
I
Alright.
will saunter back in the direction of Ren.
I think there's a begrudging, like the party like tries to keep moving and they see that Ren's disappeared. Grumble, grumble, grumble.
We've already encountered some elven undead spirits around these parts. And I'm not saying that we should abandon the elves to deal with all of their own problems, but do you really think the most favorable outcome for undead elven spirits is going to come at the hands of this lot? Like, might it not be better for the elves, for their own safety, to let them handle their own undead? You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna just murder the fucking spirits, and that might not be the best solution. And if we try and use the unicorn horn for something, there's going to be... I think, honestly, the best outcome is going to come from letting professionals handle it.
Who are you talking to? Like,
Ren.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Ren's not here. Ren's
I'm not
put
here.
on her cloak of elven kind. She's disappeared.
Around here somewhere. I guess I'm just kind of like facing the woods, being like, Ren! Do you really think these guys are going to be the best solution?
If he's
think about it
conversationally
logically, it's
yelling
actually
into the woods.
All right.
All right.
I will circle back and follow the trail. I assume that's where Ren went.
Yeah, I would be following the trail.
All right. You coax Gurgi down from the tree, then circle back. He scrambles back up the tree, and you begin following Ren, or you think, down this trail.
Yeah. That's a good idea. I'll pull my own hood up and disappear into the brush.
All right. With your cloaks of elven kind, you disappear completely into the forest, invisible to the eyes of those around you. As you track your way forward, eventually, you will make your way a number of miles through the forest. This dragging went a long way, but after a half hour or so of traveling down this road, you find a kind of clearing in the forest that has opened up wide, and it doesn't seem to be a natural one. In fact, you see the broken stumps of trees and the clear signs of some great struggle. And lying in the center of the clearing is a great beast, something that maybe you have not seen before, a kind of amalgamation of bird and snake, and it lies dead upon the ground. Clear blood trails dried and crackling and black run out of it, and a peculiar, almost fungus, big red mushrooms grow out of the creature, out of its open wounds, out of its blackened, disgusting kind of old blood. You don't see the big full bodies of them, but just the big red caps of the mushrooms.
Hey, Rook? That edible? Joking.
Yeah,
I think we should burn
Krob,
it.
you should go eat it.
I can eat it.
Says the bush next to you. I've got a hero notched and ready. I think the dogs are fanning out, growling, but we're staying on the edge of this clearing. Yeah, this isn't right. Like
We haven't had a night's
doing
rest yet,
here?
have we?
We had one night's rest.
You had one night's rest from the forced march through from the drums.
Could I potentially make an herbalism check to find out more about these mushrooms?
How would you go about determining more of these mushrooms?
Well, first, I guess without really approaching the thing to touch it, I would try to figure out if there's any mushrooms that preferably grow on corpses in that high speed, right? Like that has to be a very specific plant that grows on a corpse that quickly. Or not plant, but fungus, you know what I mean? Not trying to be too specific here.
Okay, so you're trying to make an herbalism check without really investigating these mushrooms too much, just by sight and by
I'm not by
reputation.
knowledge. Yeah, by knowledge.
Go ahead and make an herbalism check at -5 for me.
Yeah, I feel that
22.
one. Yeah, it's mine plus -5, so I feel it.
Oh, okay. You dig back through your knowledge of different funguses and plants that may grow on corpses, and while you can think of a good number that do grow upon the dead, none of them seem to check out with these red-capped mushrooms that you see here.
Ren, what are we worried about here? Big thing dies in the woods, it rots, mushrooms grow.
I don't like the color of this. You'll hear like from somewhere behind a tree. So why is it all red all the time? I don't know. That doesn't seem right to
It's a
me.
warning. It's
Why is it
nature's
all
way of
green?
saying we should get out.
Why is anything the color it is? It doesn't matter.
So without getting any closer, Can we tell anything about this creature? So you said it looks like a mix of bird and serpent?
It's a great mix of bird and serpent. Is
it long and skinny? Or...
It is long and skinny. It has the kind of body of a serpent. It has talons of a bird. Although the scales of the serpent are missing, it is instead much more like feathered. What would have been its face, although it is quite mangled and growing full of mushrooms, seems to have more bird-like features than snakes.
Is this the flying snake?
Could well be.
Rook says that aloud to the party. What were we supposed to do with the snake?
Give the gems to it. That was supposed to be a sacrifice from the elves.
Maybe we're too
He's
late.
gonna want them anymore.
Do I recognize the creature, Greg? I don't have history, but
I'm not sure. I don't think that this particular creature is something that you've encountered. How about that? Unless you have reason to have met some strange mythological creature of the forest. Tell me, have you?
No, but we've
run into it?
I just mean because if the elves give sacrifices to like the winged serpent, right? It would make sense that I would assume like there would be drawings, or that I would have been told about it before, at least in my village.
Why don't you roll circles? We'll find out. You're like vaguely adjacent to this. We'll call your circles just charisma for ease of adjusting additions, or I guess games entirely.
32.
Okay. So you brought up drawings as a thing. I think that you have not met this creature or necessarily met people that have, but just from word of mouth and during your time as a child in the elven communities that you've visited, you've heard stories of this creature. In fact, this is not the winged serpent, the flying snake that they gave sacrifices to, but another thing entirely, a protector of parts of the forests, thing that can travel through the Feywild and the regular forest at its own will. It is known to be a favored hunt of the goddess of the hunt, Gepa, and there's ritually times to hunt it in the past. Although it is a creature of great reverence amongst the elves, to leave it dead and dying and broken without the proper care to its body and its spirit after it passes, so that it could return to be hunted again by another generation of elves would be quite the blaspheme.
Well, whatever or whoever killed it must have been really strong. Look at the size of this thing. And if it's already dead, the rituals aren't done.
Did Ren tell us anything about this creature?
Yeah, I would have quietly relayed that to you, I guess.
The bushes keep talking to everyone.
Yep.
Did we poke it with a stick?
No, we don't poke it. Is there? Can we? I know we don't have. We don't have perception, but is there a way to find out if whatever killed it is still around?
How would you determine whatever killed it? How would you go about looking for it?
I'm gonna do one large circle around the clearing, like sneaking about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you begin sneaking about the clearing, wandering in a large circle around this kind of broken area. As you do, you will come to notice that these red-capped mushrooms are not just growing from the corpse of the creature itself, but have grown from any place where its blood has touched. You find its blackened and broken blood splashed upon broken tree stumps, vines, grasses throughout the clearing, although not nearly in the abundance that you see them on the creature itself. And there is no other sign that you can find of another creature, at least at the edge of this distance. You don't see anything that isn't a mushroom blood of this creature or this creature's corpse itself as you make this circle.
Right. When I come full circle back to the party, I'm going to quietly say, I don't think anything killed this creature really. I think it got infested and dragged itself here to die.
It's all cut up, no?
Yeah, but I didn't see any, there's no predator around here.
Yeah, maybe
And why would
not.
you drag something out if you're not even going to eat it? It doesn't look like it's been eaten or anything, right? It's just decaying, Greg?
The mushrooms are eating it.
Yeah, it is
Fungus
decaying.
is the predator.
It is
Shouts
decaying
from
quite
the edge of the
rapidly.
clearing.
Maybe it's been hunted by something that's not elves. Maybe whoever hunted it this time don't care about the rituals or the ceremony. Just killed it and left it here for the sake of it.
Rook is looking around. Is there anything here besides us and the fungus and the serpent? There's
there's no other things that you find here. No.
I'm getting increasingly nervous. I'm going to climb a tree, not the one that's got Gurg in it. I assume he's doing the same thing. I choose a different tree.
All right, fair enough. You climb a tree. Absolutely.
My words of warning are not being heeded, so I shall hide.
I will see if there's anything else around with a detect magic spell. I'll grind up some dust, inhale it, and look about to see if there is magical signature of anything magical hiding around here, any magical things on my people.
Absolutely.
Magic mushrooms.
Do you take a bump of the crystal dust, or are you showering out in front of you?
No, I want to be able to see all around. If I just shower, it might not cover enough of an area to see all the dust, to see all the magical signatures. So I gotta have it myself.
Absolutely. You perform your magic ritual with the dust of the crystal, and your eyes glow magically. You look around and you find yourself staring at lots of magic in this clearing. In fact,
guys,
every single red cap that you see growing from the decaying corpse and the splashes of its black blood radiate an unidentified magic. Not so much that you don't know what it is, but so much as it doesn't have a school itself. There's just merely magic.
Ren, we gotta go. This is weird. This is really uncomfortable. I'm done a whole bunch of magic dust, and there's some really scary shit around here. Can we go now? Can we go? I start backing away from the magical mushrooms. These are all highly magical. Then there's a lot of them, and it sort of looks like magic splattered out of this thing and went all over the place. And I don't know if the thing was magical and there's just magic blood left everywhere, or if the thing that killed it is highly magical. But there's a lot of magic around here, and a lot.
I think Hugo's already backed up like 200 feet as Koibu's been giving the speech.
How big is the creature again, Greg?
The creature itself is about 15 feet in total length. At full length, it would be much larger than a human. It is probably about 4 to 5 feet in diameter of its snake-like feathered body. So a reasonably large-sized creature.
Take a sample though. Just take one sample. I walk back over. I'll pick a small one. What? No.
Are you picking a mushroom?
Well, I was about to, and then Ren started telling me not to.
All right, Koibu, you wander back into the clearing, the first to brave your way up to one of these mushrooms.
Small one.
Can we pause for a second and get where everyone is? Where is Ren?
Sure. Give me half a second.
I don't need to draw. I'm just
okay. Yeah. So there's this large clearing around, and you have entered from the west towards the east, right? So you're on kind of the left side of the clearing.
I haven't entered. Rook and the dogs
you've approached the perimeter of this clearing so that you can see it from the west. Ren has made a kind of loop across this this clearing, keeping to the perimeter, not entering it, taking note of what she's seen. I imagine that she's gone at least to the opposite side. So I would see her as like on the east side of the perimeter of this clearing.
I've already said, though, when I did the full circle and came back to the party, I'm going to say. So I assume
Okay, so Ren has circled the entire thing and come back. Koibu and Hugo were backing way up, and then Koibu decided, actually, I do need a sample. And so he has returned past you and walked into the clearing to find the nearest splattering of blood to try to pick up what he's found.
And I was told not to, and so I paused, like, are you sure? Because a sample could be good. Sample could be
All
good.
right, so Koibu, you reach out and then pause. Like, wait, are you sure? A sample could be good. And as you look back, you see the mushroom change. Out of the ground,
I'm rolling initiative.
A creature that
this?
looks something like this.
Guys, are you seeing this? Something's changing.
Because I'm like an extra 200 feet back. I can hear you guys like vaguely talking.
Yes. The red-capped mushroom rises up, a horrifying mouth dripping with blood comes pouring out of it, and it reaches up its knife to stab you, Mr. Koibu. It is definitely gonna get its surprise here.
I would like a chance to roll surprise. I have an arrow notched and drawn, but
Well, Koibu is surprised. You can roll surprise if you'd like.
Guys,
Koibu's picking mushrooms.
I mean, this just looks like a goblin with a silly hat on.
You are surprised.
double ones.
Nice. All right, Koibu, you are stabbed by this thing, and I cannot roll on the table to save my life, but that was a 5 plus 4 for initiative, plus its Thaco is not going to hit your armor.
If he's surprised, it doesn't need to roll initiative. It just five to hit.
To hit. So you turn and you see Rook knocking an arrow and a tenseness amongst your. You're like, what's going on? And this knife stabs out at you, bloody and rusty. It strikes into your chainmail, I believe you're wearing as a wizard. And it is unable to hook in and cut your flesh. And I believe we should probably roll some initiative, yeah?
maybe
So,
take our
just
first
a
break.
question.
Yeah, let me throw your tokens on here. We'll just kind of do it by.
Is it the same size as a goblin? Does it look undead?
It is smaller probably than a goblin. It is no more than a 1.5 feet tall. When it crouches down, it kind of like hides itself entirely under its giant red cap. That looks, when still, entirely like a mushroom. Its features are malformed and horrid. There's like kind of a red dripping that like just kind of cascades down from its mouth, from its like twisted knife, and drips on into its like fetid skin that itself almost looks like the rot of a fungus. I think Rook rolled already. I'm going to put Rook as a 2 on his initiative.
Yeah, when you have an arrow already notched, your initiative is 1.
Do you need base specialization for that, or?
No, I'm pretty sure that's just. I don't have bow specialization. No, I think that's just. It's to stop all the players from being like, but I already declared that there was an arrow in my bow.
Yeah. Goddamn players.
It's like, fine, your initiative is 1. Roll the d10.
Well, I'm going to take us to break.
Alrighty,
while
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right.
Yes.
Do you want to take a break?
Yes.
That seems like a reasonable thing. As everyone rolls for initiative, you will see the field of red caps begin to pop up as well. The entire area is filled with these murderous red fey creatures.
Hey, Koibu, how many rounds before you go blind?
We will take a break right there and come back and see what happens on the other side.